Everyone always asks each other, what's your favorite Piston Cup sponsor, racer, team, or whatever it is? And we talk Taco Mint, gaskets, obviously Rust-eze, Dynaco. But what are the general consensus least favorite Piston Cup sponsors out there? Now, I know it's all subjective, and a lot of people, I'm sure, love Lil Torquey Pistons, but I feel like they are on the bottom tier in terms of Piston Cup teams. And I don't really know why. Now, for me, I kind of feel that way, but as we're going to take a deep dive in the team Lil Torquey Pistons today, I think we all should come to like them because, I mean, come on. Look at this little guy. Isn't he adorable? Little piston guy. Isn't that so cute? Oh my God. I mean, how could you not like when they have their own mascot like that? So, yeah, guys, welcome back to Piston Cup Teams episode 11. It's taken us like 4 years to finally get to this point, but yeah, you know what? I guess it makes sense. I've accumulated more and more members over the years. I just got this Pitty in 2022, although I got the Hauler probably almost a decade ago, which is kind of wild to think about. I think I got it in maybe 2015, so 8 years, but that is pretty wild. Today, obviously, I have everything to go through among some customs as well. We have Ralph Carlow from Cars 1, Ralph Carlow from Cars 3. I have the Motor Speedway of the South version and the Thailand Ralph to do a comparison of. We have Damaged Ralph Carlow, the factory custom pickup truck. We have a custom crew chief. This is Spikey Fillups, the next gen, the drag racer, and of course the custom hauler. So we're going to dive right in, guys. But before we do, take a look at GetMeCollecitlbes eBay store, linked in the description below. If you want to beef up your Piston Cup team collection, he's got all sorts of stuff, whether it be just leakless or Dynaco, or even to the more obscure tank coat, Vitaline pitties, stuff like that. Now we're going to work in chronological order, I think, today. So let's start with the Cars 1 version of Ralph. So the Thailand version is going to be on the right here, and we're going to put this Motor Speedway of the South version on the left. Now, unfortunately, as you might be able to notice, and you might already have anticipated this, my Motor Speedway of the South Ralph is starting to deteriorate at the hand of zinc pest, or at the hands of zinc pest. You can see there's a crack in the eyelid right there, but most notably, the body is starting to expand from the base. He's trying to take off. He's trying to expand his wings. I have a Ryan Shields that is really, really bad like this. Like, his are probably out to like here and here. But still, really solid condition overall. And it's just something that happens. Fortunately, it has not happened to either of my Apple cars yet. But I'm prepared. I'm prepared for the funeral if it does. Now, I did just review the Thailand version of Ralph in 2022 because he came out. And so I'll leave that link in the description below and card suggestion pop-up. So if you want a more thorough comparison, definitely check that out. But you can see right off the bat, the logo on the Thailand version has been enlarged 3 times. It is much, much bigger. I think it looks good, Not really sure which is accurate, probably somewhere in the middle, but I like seeing our piston mascot in more prominence. Of course, he's number 117, one of the few racers above 100. Very colorful, he's got blue, white, yellow, red. I love the red wheels on him. Of course, you have the white stripes, red. Take a look at those contingency sponsors there. They look really clear, obviously, on the Chinese version, but what about Thailand? Ugh, God, looks horrible. Like, if I didn't know what some of these said down here, like retread and clutch aid, there's no way you can read that. So that's pretty disappointing. But it's just what happens. Just what happens. Now, the windows are opaque instead of being transparent. Now, obviously, when I say transparent, you still can't see into it there. But that's because there's an interior piece right there that you're looking at. But you literally can't see through these gray windows. The back decals also been enlarged. Same thing with the roof there, the 117, which I think looks better. And they do this a lot on the Thailand versions. Like, you take a look at Jack the Post, or no, Rusty Cornfuel for toe cap. And the 4 on his roof is ginormous, you can see here, compared to the original Chinese version. Lil Torquey Pistons, 117. All good. Which version's your favorite? The expression is even a little bit different as well. It's hard for me to pick. I think I would go with the Chinese version just because, I don't know, the eyes just look a little funky here. It just looks a little disconjointed to me with the eye plate in there these days. And obviously here we have our damaged Ralph Carlow that I did a review on long ago in my most popular video ever, damaged Piston Cup racers from Cars 1. You can see this customizer made his rims accurate by adding the blue trim that is indeed supposed to be there. And I do have a factory custom Ralph Carlow that I want to show you here real quick. In fact, if I could pull it out. Oh yeah, here we go. This one looks so weird. I'm going to compare it to the Chinese version here. It's a way lighter blue and he has black rims. And the expression is different because the eyes are further apart. So that's interesting. It's funny how many like Ralph Carlows or how many just Lil Torquey Piston related cars you have in general, or like that Mattel has made or that are out there, I guess is the best way to say it. You know, because I'm going through my collection. I'm like, obviously I need the racers, the 3 main generations. I need my Pitty. I'm like, oh yeah, they did an XRS drag racer of Spikey Fillups, and oh yeah, you know, there's the Thailand variant of Ralph Carlow, and then there's like, oh, there's the factory custom. So it's like, oh my gosh, there's actually quite a bit out there. Now here's a pretty forlorn Cars 3 racer in, you know, Cars 3 Ralph Carlow. This is one of the few characters in the Piston Cup that actually made the jump between movies before he was quickly replaced by Spikey Fillups, who was once known as Eric Breaker. So if I say Eric Breaker, that is why. It's actually a very nice next-gen stock car. I love the fact that they retained the Piston mascot and they made him even bigger here. The font still looks the same. It's just a little larger. You still have the red rims and all that. Way less contingency sponsors. But, you know, all things considered, you know, you compare like the vinyl toupe stock cars. You have Rev Rotages and Krusty Rotor. They look nothing alike. I mean, you look at these though, yeah, they're pretty similar. The red stripe still goes down the center. You still have logos in the same spots that are kind of shaped similarly. You got the camera on the back there. This guy's a way lighter blue. There's actually a prototype of him that's even lighter blue that has more light blue on it, and I showed that prototype in my Cars 3 package prototypes video. There was like a prototype Dud Throttleman, Parker Breakston, Rex Revler, Tommy Highbanks. That was a fun video. All right, so that'll close the book on Ralph Carlow. Now let's take a look at this factory custom crew chief. This one came out maybe a couple years ago. They've done several waves of these factory custom crew chiefs, and he was not a part of the first wave, I know that, and was not a part of the most recent wave. And then there are like 2 outliers, like they did Dale's and like Fabulous Hudson Hornet crew chief, like just on their own, not a part of a quote-unquote wave. And it's not like they're even designated waves anyway. They just happen to drop on eBay at the same time. Yeah, factory customizers aren't that detailed. But yeah, this guy looks nice. He certainly serves, you know, the crew chief itch for me. He's got the logo right there, which is in great quality. 117. Silver wheels. Now, all of these have this hole right here because they used a mold that had a headset, and the like headset would plug right in there. So that's why they all have that hole there. No license plate, but what else can you expect? It's funny. They use like a screw in the front here, and then they use a rivet in the back. And it just says Disney Pixar China. How interesting. Do you guys buy these factory custom crew chiefs? They don't have them all for all of the sponsors, but I'd say a good 2/3 of them they do, which is pretty nice. Now this Pitty here obviously doesn't really fit the color vibe. You You know, we don't know what a Lil Torquey Pistons Pitty would look like. They didn't appear in the movie. Yeah, believe it or not, Pixar and Disney, they only animated a good like 17, somewhere around that number, pit crews in the Motor Speedway of the South. So they left out, oh my God, Fiber Fuel, Vinyl Toupe, Shifty Drug, and the list goes on, obviously. Lil Torquey Pistons is one of them. So whenever somebody goes to make a Pitty or a crew chief, you're just going off your creative liberties. And I think this one is not how it would have looked, but it's a tremendous custom. It looks fantastic in my opinion. You have the white base, then red windows, and then a blue cap. And this is, I think, using a Megan shifter because it is from Thailand. I like the 117 decal there on the side, and then you just have the Lil Torquey Pistons logo on the hood. But yeah, the reason why I wouldn't say this is accurate is because you look at other pitties and they all have the logo on each side and on the roof, and they only are two colors. You know, it's the hat and the base here the same color, and then the windows are a different color. So I probably say this guy would be blue, red, blue, and then it'd be Lil Torquey Pistons, Lil Torquey Pistons, Lil Torquey Pistons. The number would not be present. But he also did the wheels here in red, which is awesome. I don't know the customizer for any of the customs shown today, unfortunately. They all came from random sources, some of which secondhand, so the person who sold it to me weren't even the customizer, or wasn't even the customizer themselves. And that applies to the hauler here, which I got on eBay. So this one, like I said, I got them a long time ago. And it is one of the, I mean, it's okay. The decals, like on the hauler, are tremendous. And, you know, I just used that word twice in like a minute, but it's true. These look really good. Yet that is about where the strengths of this hauler end, in my opinion. He does have a pretty good expression here. It looks like the person applied decals there for the eyes. They painted everything, so you can see they even painted the grill again with that silver over it, so it looks a little wonky. They had added a roof decal there, which looks okay, but again, it's a little choppy, not pristine. Same thing with the 117 on the sides here. I don't understand why they painted the windows silver. I guess they painted over it blue. You know, that must have been why. Yeah, I guess so. That's a little disappointing because that's probably the worst part about it, is how weird the windows look in that like silver paint. That obviously is not like perfect or anything like that. And you know, when I'm buying customs, I know it's not going to be perfect, and I just went to hell and back trying to detach the trailer from the semi, and it ain't going. You know, it is stiff. It is in there, and I don't think it'll ever come out without tearing the hauler apart. Like, I feel like I'm gonna ruin the decals on the side because I'm gripping it too hard, and it really stinks. It happens honestly to quite a few haulers, but either way, we're okay. You can see the 117s on the mud flaps, which again, not accurate because all semi cabs from Cars 1 actually have the logo yet again on the mud flaps. But again, like I said, the decals on the trailer are immaculate. Like, I don't know how he did it, but it really does look like an actual Mattel release. Like, even Jim Scavenger's decals, I have to say, don't look this accurate. I mean, his are good, they hold up, but this just looks really good to me. And I'm pretty sure this is accurate because, of course, you have the racing text there, which is characteristic of all haulers. Looks really nice. Lil Torquey Pistons Racing. Again, you can see that they painted all along here. Just odd, you know. I guess they just painted everything blue and they're like, all right, we're going to figure out what to do with the rest of it later. The license plate's still down there. He did use a Dynaco hauler, which will become apparent in a moment here, because you can still see the faint Dynaco text. Now, I'm not sure if he painted over the sticker. I don't think he did. I think the Dynaco stickers, which they are individual stickers for each letter, they just left an imprint on the roof there. Isn't that wild? That is so weird to me that it left such a long-lasting imprint. But there you go. You can see he also painted in the crooks right here, which I think is completely unnecessary. Again, one of my least favorite parts about this hauler. But I know I've been dogging on it. It serves its purpose for the time being until I can get a replacement, if I ever do. All right, let's move on to the next gen Eric. I knew I was going to do it. Spikey Fillups. This is one of my, if not my least favorite next gen. I'm just going to come out and say it. I think the design is dull. It fits in with the color palette of about all, about 25 of the other next gen racers, which is like a bluish green. They do keep the Lil Torquey Piston mascot, which is shocking because it seems like when everything got modernized, they eliminated slogans and the fun stuff. Like on gaskets, they got rid of the little racetrack treat icon. So that's really the only good thing about it. I do hear that the Thailand version is better. So maybe one day I'll get that and I'll change my mind. But I just don't like the color of it. It's just a weird pattern as well. It almost looks like water here. Now this is supposed to be a wrench, or somebody told me what this is. It's almost like, I thought somebody might have said it's supposed to be LTP, like all in one, or it's maybe like a piston. I don't know. This just is weird looking to me. Maybe I'm just not visualizing it right now. It's like they tried to do LTP. I don't know. It looks like a wrench, maybe a piston. Oh my gosh. Can't figure it out. But yeah, it's just weird because the graphics look like they're meant to emulate water. So you can't even see the contingency sponsors under there at all. You got black rims. Lil Torquey Pistons on the spoiler there. This guy was made, let's see, check out that date stamp. 1628 EAA. The 162nd day of 2018. The last year for Chinese diecast in the main line. Rookie racing stripes. You got that same icon as on the hood. Yeah, I just don't like them. I'm sorry, I don't. Here is your drag racer version, which is also, yeah, made in China. This guy snuck out just in time before they switched these over to Vietnam, because I believe there is a Vietnam variant of this. And same kind of thing, they give him that same exact color. Kind of an odd choice for a drag racer, if you ask me. I mean, they make a lot of odd choices, or they have, for the XRS lines. Paul Conrab's gotten like 2. Michael Roeder's gotten like 3. I mean, like Fireball Beach, Rocket Racing, and like Endurance. It's wild. They did give him some nice kind of like metallic light blue wheels, which are kind of cool. You can see how the like pistons in the blown engine move as he drives, which is a cool feature. Of course, you got the flames as well. And the Giga spoiler, which is nice. You got 117 on the side. Parachutes in the back. The wheelie back here. Extra tires that don't move. They put the contingency sponsors on the bottom now. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, Lil Torquey Pistons Next Gen, Spikey Fillups, just ain't my cup of tea. All right, that leaves one item to be reviewed, which I guess I didn't really go chronologically, but that's okay. And it is this crew chief. Not a bad custom as well, but again, you have the hole left on the side because I guess the person didn't have a headset that went that way. They only had one that went on the left side, or our left side, their right side. So that's a little disappointing. And the graphics you can see are like a little off. It's almost as if this is for the Cars 3. And yeah, I guess it would be for the Cars 3 Ralph Carlow, because you can see that logo pretty much matches. It's not perfect, but looks pretty good, and it looks pretty vivacious, very vibrant compared to the Cars 1 logo. Made an effort to change the expression, which is good. It's okay. Red wheels, I like that. 117 on each side. This would be accurate, I think. Actually, no, yeah, they would still have the logo. Everybody's like number happy. It's funny, like 3 different people made the hauler, crew chief, and that pitty, and they all put the number decal where it should have been the actual logo. On the pitty on the sides, on the crew chief on the sides, and on the hauler on those mud flaps. So that's interesting. It just seems like a lot of people don't. I'm really criticizing people today, but I don't know, I feel bad. Just look at the other crew chiefs though. Look at the leakless crew chief. Look at the crew chief that this used to be. I don't know. Oh well. Still nice. Adds to the collection. Alright guys, that is all for Team Lil Torquey Pistons. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below, what is your favorite member of Team Lil Torquey Pistons? You know, it could be something that, you know, obviously wasn't made by Mattel, like the Hauler, the Pitty, the Chief. Which Chief though? I'm gonna have to go with the factory custom. I'm sorry. I like it. I like the simplicity of it. You could just count on it being just standard. And obviously they put the number on the sides too, but at least it's very much so uniform. All right, guys. Thank you, as always, for the support, and I will see you soon for another episode of Piston Cup Teams and another video in general. Bye now.